What is up, YouTube? You're watching A True Show with me, your host, The Truth, and today I'm going to go through a new gear build new gear set build that I've come across by watching other people play and stuff like that, and it looked really interesting, so I thought I'm going to give it a go, and you know what? It's fucking awesome. Once you've built it properly, it is awesome. And just so we're clear, this isn't even the final form of my builds of this gear set. I'm still tweaking it because it's brand new. I'm trying to max expertise, or what my expertise level is. I'm trying to still recalibrate some of the core talents and some of the attributes. So without further ado, here it is a Heartbreaker gear set. Now, with this gear set, I'm going to say you're going to want the chest piece and the backpack for their secondary talent. We'll get into them as we get round to them, but first let's go through what I'm using or how I've got it set up. So first I'm using the chest piece. Now we're going to look at the Heartbreaker's talents, or its core attributes, or what it gives you for wearing a set number of pieces. So the first one is 2-piece. This gives you 15% assault rifle damage and 15% LMG damage. Really, really good. Gives you extra hits. At 3-piece, it gives you 15% weapon handling, which allows you to, stay on target. It keeps your accuracy and stability awesome. And then its 4-piece initiates its unique talent called Heartstopper. Headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds. Weapon hits on pulsed enemies add a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1.1% weapon damage to pulsed enemies, up to a max of 50 stacks. Now, even though it says 2 pulsed enemies, what I found is that the damage, you still dish it out to non-pulsed enemies, because they're still getting hit heavy. You will see it in the video. Non-pulsed enemies will be getting hit. 2 stacks are lost every second. Its core attributes are rolled into weapon damage. Its secondary attributes are critical hit damage and critical hit chance. Now, I like to roll stuff into critical hit damage and critical hit chance because it helps increase your weapon damage, but that's what everybody knows. But the main reason you want to keep the chest piece on and want to use it is because of its secondary talent, which is max BPM. It increases max stacks for Heartstopper from 50 to 100. Now, that's important. I'm going to tell you why that's important once we get to the backpack, but let's keep going through it. So, I'm using the Heartbreaker holster. That core attribute has armor. Its secondary attribute is critical hit chance. Now, like I've said with my other build video, roll it however you want to roll it. So if you want to roll it for damage, roll it for damage. If you want to roll it for survivability, roll it for armor. Find that balance, that's for you. Me, I'm kind of doing a little in between, just enough armor for a little bit of survivability, but so that I'm still dishing out quite a bit of damage. So you'll find that my items are all quite differently. I've also got the gloves, and they're rolled into weapon damage and critical hit damage. And we come to the backpack. Now, my backpack, its core attribute is armor, and its secondary attributes are critical hit damage, and I've got a gear piece of critical hit chance on there. Now, the reason I say this is important is because it pairs up with your chest piece beautifully, and it does so with its secondary talent. Increases total bonus armor gained per stack of Heartstopper from 1% to 2%. So, if you're running with the chest piece and you manage to get max Heartstopper, you're going to have plus 100% of your armor as bonus armor. Right? That's awesome. But if you pair it with the backpack, you're not going to have 100+% bonus armor. You're going to have 200% plus bonus armor. So while I'm sitting at 1.1 million here in this build, if I get a full stack of Heartstopper, my armor is sitting at 3.3 million armor. That's awesome. And while you're getting shot, building up the stacks, if you're building up your stacks, shooting an enemy, and you're getting shot while your armor's going down, your bonus armor is continually going up. So it just works. I can't explain how well it works, but it just works. So they're the 4-piece heart stopper that I'm using. Again, I would recommend that you use both the backpack and the chest piece and pair them together, because together they just work so well. For the other 2 pieces, I'd say go with what works for you. For me, I'm using my Coyote Exotic Mask. And as you can see, it's weapon damage, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and critical hit damage. Um, awesome. It's got its talent for its pack instincts. Again, that's great because it works with this. So you're hitting a lot of critical hit damage and chance. And for my knee pads, now this is where I kind of alternate. I'm using a Fenris group simply because I have nothing else that I can put there. Now, I could put another Heartstopper piece on there, or I could put a piece of other gear on there, but I don't know. I want that damage that the Fenris groups give me. So again, you can use something else. I do alternate between my turmoil knee pads with this build and these Fenris group. But again, it's up to you. If you find another piece of gear that you want to roll, or like another piece of knee pads with a different time, put them on. If it's beneficial to the build, use it, man. Don't feel like you have to build exactly as I've built. Build it the way you want to build it. Now, me skills, I'm running a ballistic shield and pulse. Now, the reason I'm running pulse, even though in the Heartstopper bonus it says that you have to shoot an enemy in the head and they'll be pulsed for 5 seconds, most people would think that that's the only time you're going to get your Heartstopper bonus. It's not. If you pulse an area with your pulse skill, you will start initiating that Heartstopper bonus because the enemies are pulsed. You do not have to shoot them in the head first. If you pulse them with your pulse skill, it works exactly the same. Absolutely brilliant. Specialization, I'm running Gunner because of the 10% armor regen on kill. And my weapons, fairly simple. A St. Elmo's engine because of its fire rate and its clip size. And I've got a Stoner LAMG as a backup LMG. Now, I'm using an LMG because of the Heartstopper's first talent being assault rifle damage and LMG damage. So it's the only reason I'm running an LMG. But I very rarely use the LMG with this build. I'm basically just using my St. Elmo's engine. So that's the build, guys. Like I said, build it how you want to build it. But make sure, if you do build it, to use this backpack and the chest piece. Put them together. They're secondary talents. They work so well together. And I find it's necessary for me because it's so much fun when you work up a full crap load of armor and you're just like standing in front of enemies shooting them and they're not whittling your armor down. So yeah, um, as always, I'm going to put a little video at the end that shows you me getting the bonuses and fighting some enemies. It's going to be short because it's just going to be me going up against a heavy and you're going to see how much armor I gain. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all next time.